motherfucker.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my WoW race tier list. I'm just going to list some pros and some cons, the strengths and weaknesses of each race. Also, I'm going to be separating males and females because I do think with some specific races, the males and females carry themselves very differently. And, okay, enough of that. Let's start. Alright, human males, the cons, they're bland, they're boring, they look like the bad guys from Shrek, they have stale animations, awful voice lines. It sounds like even the voice actor was bored out of his mind recording the voice lines for human males.
Well met. I need to get closer.
Only good thing I can think of, the armor looks okay, it sits well, it doesn't clip, the shoulders aren't too big, so for whatever reason you want armor that sits well with normal sized shoulders. I guess with human males you got that going for you. Human males are going into D tier for these reasons. Human females, same exact thing as the human males. They're bland, they're boring, they have bad animations. They're cuter. You can make them somewhat attractive looking, but that's not a good thing, that's actually a con because that attracts slut mog degenerates who just want to jerk off to the character like, you know, plate bikini dancing on a mailbox. That's not a good thing. Pros, none. So for the whole slut mog factor, they're going to be under human males and D-. Alright, moving on to dwarf males. The pros, just well done, classic fantasy. Good model animations. They fit the character. The voice lines fit the character. They're somewhat amusing. They're not too annoying. They have a decent city. Ironforge is kind of neat. The only cons I can think of for dwarves is, first off, their alliance, and second off is the curse of flesh is just kind of convoluted and unnecessary. If you're not sure about the lore, basically dwarves used to be made out of rock, and then Cthulhu got mad and turned them into flesh because somehow that's bad. I think it's just too much. So yeah, dwarf males are going into B tier, pretty good. Dwarf females, the pros, I would say it doesn't attract the slut mog degenerates because they're not traditionally as attractive. They are dwarves, so that's a good thing. The player base seems pretty chill compared to a lot of other players. I've never really seen like an annoying person play a dwarf female. The cons, the main drawback, I think that, they all look like butch lesbians. So when you take that all into account, I think that they can't really place as high as male dwarves. So I'm going to be putting them into mid C tier. If they had one more positive thing going, I could see them. They're almost C+, but not quite there, so they're at C. We're on to night elf males. The cons, just look at them, really. And the pros are a hard none. Night elf males are going into F-. Night elf females, the cons got a bit more to say, I guess. So stupid, convoluted lore that tries way too hard to be mysterious. You know, you worship the moon, you turn into a cat, you run away. It's not cool. It tries to be cool, but it's not. The slut mog attracts, massive degenerates, kind of like human females, but almost worse than that. The backflip is really dumb. And just as the whole aesthetic, they really remind me of this one stupid girl from middle school who was telling everybody that she was a psychic. They kind of carry themselves the same way. So night elf females, the pros, like the males, none at all. Maybe you could say they're tall. Fine, let's say they're tall. Let's give them a pro. Let's say they're tall. F-, right alongside night elf males. No males. Okay, the pros, the lore is pretty unique. I think they got the whole gears, the gadgets. That's interesting. It's not really that cool, but it's unique. It adds some flavor to the game. Another good thing, they look stupid as fuck, but intentionally. And when you try to do something intentionally and you pull it off, I do have to give you props. So I think that's a good thing. If it's supposed to be stupid looking and it does look stupid, I think that they kind of got what they were going for. They're hard to click on, I guess, because they're small. So if you suck at the game and you don't tab target, maybe a gnome rogue would be more of a pain in the ass than a Tauren rogue. I guess that's a pro. And all in all, I would want to almost put them in a C+, but
I'm out of range!
The voice acting is abysmal.
I'm out of range! I'm out of range! I'm out of range!
And you get mad just when you hear it. It's very, very, very irritating. So that brings them down all the way to D+. No males are at D+. Gnome females, same as the males, unique lore, hard to click on. Their voice acting is very annoying, but it somehow sounds a little bit less autistic than the gnome males does. So they're brought up to C-, slightly above gnome males. Draenei males, I don't really have a lot to say. The pros, the whole light lore is kind of okay. The armor, the way it sits, I think it's passable. Cons, they are pretty ugly, just looks like a weird Star Trek idea mashup. The lore of a spaceship crashing on Azeroth, I think, is also pretty stupid and just out of place. So, yeah, I'm putting them in a solid C. I don't have enough bad stuff or good stuff to really say anything about them to bring them any higher or lower. Draenei females, you think it might go somewhere near Draenei males, but yeah, the light lore is okay, but what I've noticed with Draenei females, it attracts the worst of slut mog degenerates, like just absolutely disgusting subhuman people. They have like 3 monitors, 1 to play WoW and 2 with like sissy hypnosis videos. Yeah, F+ for Draenei females. We're on to Wargen males, the pros. So out of all of the animal aesthetic races, I do feel that the furry aesthetic of the big wide eyes and the half smirk and the curious expression, I feel that it's kept to a minimum, so I appreciate that. The running like a dog is funny, so that's a pro. The English accents are honestly pretty cool. I always like accents, and it gives it a lot more flavor than just like standard humans. The cons, I don't think I've ever met a Wargen male player that didn't seem like he was gifted, a little bit touch, had something missing. They're just kind of off as players. So Wargen males are going into C. Wargen females, pros, again, the dog running is funny, but what I said about Wargen males, how that they don't really carry that furry aesthetic, Wargen females absolutely do. They don't pump the brakes at all, they just go full throttle, huge eyes, obnoxious smirk, just feels gross. Same as the Wargen males, it does seem like the majority of the player base is actually like mentally disabled. Gotta put them straight into F just for the whole disability factor and the furry factor. Definitely F, mid F. Pandaren males, the pros are none. The cons are that they exist. They're actually going into a secret tier that I didn't release yet. It's the trash can below F tier. Female Pandarens, and they're a little bit cuter, and that's why they're going in the same exact trash can. Fuck them. Fuck anybody that plays them. Drakthir, they're going right in the trash can. Mainly for all the stuff that I said about Wargen females, the furry aesthetic. Yeah, trash. We're done with the Alliance core races. Now we're just on to the Alliance allied races, and I am done with this video. Thank Christ in heaven. We're starting off with Void Elf males, F tier, more elves, you know, pros, none, cons, blood elves suck to begin with, and now you just have more elves with a different thing, F. Void Elf females, F, same exact thing as Void Elf males. We got Lightforged Draenei males, C, they're just Draenei, not really any pros, I guess more light shit is kind of neat. The cons, it's just not anything new or interesting about them, I would say. If you think that this is unfair that we put Void Elves into F, it's because there's only one other Draenei. There's already like 1,000 fucking elf races. So we're being a little bit more generous with the Draenei. Lightforged Draenei females are going into F+, again, for the slut mog, for the people jerking off to fucking God knows what in their other tabs. Dark Iron Dwarf males, D-, pros, I'm not gonna give them any pros at all. The cons, they take everything the dwarves do well and just shit on it. Dark Iron Dwarf females, same exact thing. D-, pros none, cons, just shittier dwarves really. Culturian human males, B-, pros, animations are good, voice lines are decent, they're more bouncier, they're more interesting than regular humans. So they just kind of have a bit more of a fun spin on being a boring ass human. I think that's a good thing. Cons, most of the players do seem to be huge noobs. Culturian human females are going into C-. Again, the accent's high, but it also attracts a lot of slut mogs for people who like fat chicks, which to me is weirder than even just regular slut mog. Mecha Gnome males, C-. Pros, I mean, robot parts are cool. It's almost kind of like Undead with missing features. I dig it. They elaborate on the gnome lore. And the cons, I guess their voice is still pretty stupid. Better than regular gnomes. Mecha Gnome females, C-. Same exact thing as Mecha Gnome males. And that's it. That's my tier list for Alliance. My next tier list for Horde is going to be a lot simpler than this. I had a fucking nightmare editing this, man. My fucking voice clipping it together. I always say and I have to fucking edit every single out. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then we got like clips of me ganking and clips of the fucking tier list in MS Paint and fucking pictures. It's like 5-6 different fucking tracks in Shotcut. When I do a gank montage, I got 2 tracks. I got the fucking music and I got the fucking ganking thing, and I can do effects or whatever, yeah. But it's just 2 tracks. I got like fucking 6 or 7 now. It's also for the background music. It's a pain in the ass, man. Fuck this. For the Horde one, I'm just probably gonna do the entire thing in MS Paint and half-ass the shit out of it. But regardless of that, I really appreciate anybody that answered the little thing on the poll. I did the poll thing. I'm gonna keep doing that. I like having direction from you guys. Alright, catch you later.